Hey folks, BlackCross here, and welcome back to another discussion video. With this one, we're going to go back to Final Fantasy 15, but we're going to talk about the ongoing campaign, and by campaign I mean marketing campaign, of Final Fantasy 15, as well as should have made content for Final Fantasy 15. So, Final Fantasy 15 has had a humongous campaign. Never mind the fact that it's had its own movie, it's had its 5-part anime series, and it's also got the King's Tale. And now, recently, we have gotten now a multiplayer campaign that's coming up. We've also got a frippin' VR fishing simulator. We also have got a PC version that's finally fixing to come out as of next year, as well as a mobile version of the game fixing to be in the works. Wow. Just wow. Okay. Let me see if I get this straight. You believe that Final Fantasy 15 is this humongous that you have to expand it even more as far as to go as for like a flippin' MMORPG style gameplay settings? Never mind the fact that people are now getting the PC version. That's a good part of the whole entire campaign. But you are still pushing for the VR simulation, and instead of what you had before is a fishing simulator. I feel like the numbers are not going to match up to this, are they? They're not. Keep in mind, whenever they first showcased Final Fantasy 15 for VR, it was basically where Prompto was wearing the little headgear thing, and he was shooting at the behemoth the entire time. And now, we went from that to fishing. Now, of course, this statement was already covered up and everything like that. Basically, Square Enix says that the main VR thing that they had showcased was not going to be in the main Final Fantasy 15 experience that they have fixed up. Keep in mind, they showcased that. And now they're changing their mind and saying, you're going to do fishing. That's their main concern, is the fishing part. And the bad thing is that the commercial that they have showed for it, the advertisement itself that they show for it, is that basically it's supposed to be an epic fishing adventure. The only person that's going to find fishing epic in any form of way is probably those who actually fish. And they're going to do it in real life, not in a video game. So it just, I'm like, really, Square? Really? This is the highlight of your event. This is the highlight? Fishing. No, I don't see anything wrong with this situation. I don't see how this could possibly go wrong. And then of course we have a mobile version of the game. A mobile version that's going to be made. And at first I thought to myself, I was like, I'm going to call bullshit on that one. And I'm going to tell you why I call bullshit. Because there is no way you're going to put a 50 gigabyte size game into a phone app. There is no way in hell that you're going to do that. That was until I saw the actual advertisement. And basically they went chibi version on them. And on the one hand, I don't see this being a problem, because it's like, okay, I can see in a graphical standards how this would actually work. Because it can work. On the other hand, though, it's completely downgraded from the original game itself. And keep in mind, by downgrade, I mean not so much in terms of a graphical standpoint, but I mean like as the overall gameplay performance. So I'm looking at this and it's like, somebody asked for this. Somebody said, we need a mobile phone for 15. Never mind the Nintendo Switch, but a mobile phone. I've always been in the belief that everybody should have a chance to play a game. And the fact that it was released for PS4 and Xbox One, it would seem in some form of way to be possible. Now that we're fixing to get a PC version of it, it's even more likely that everyone's going to be playing it. And now, we're fixing to get it on the mobile phone. Instead of going to the Nintendo Switch direction, they completely went a blind 80-degree turn to the mobile phone. And they think this is a good idea. I don't care how long you think you've been in the company. You are nowhere intelligent enough to think that putting a big, epic RPG into a mobile phone is not going to work. I don't think Square is using their heads fully, or the marketing campaign is so up in arms with this, and they're thinking, oh, we need to go everywhere with this. And by everywhere, their result was a phone. I don't think Square and the marketing campaign has actually thought of this. I don't think they actually thought at all what people really want. I don't think they did, or if they have, I certainly don't see it. It's one of those things that I'm like, are you shitting me with this? And it's not a major rant or anything like that. That's the weird thing. That's the bad thing about it all. It's not really a major rant. I'm like, okay, I get why you're doing this. I get the campaign. I get the whole idea. I get the whole schmeals and stuff. What about the fucking main game? Okay? That's what my concern is. The main game. Keep in mind, we've already got episode Gladius and episode Promptos. We're on our way to episode Ignis, which is all the way in freaking December. Yeah, it's like episode Gladio, we just got it in March, and then June we have Prompto, and now we have to wait a whole half a year for Ignis. Wow! That's a long ass fucking time. That's just that's the point where you literally look at yourself and you go, did I just get slapped by a fish? Like, seriously, did I just get slapped by a fish? Yes, I did. I got slapped by a fucking fish. I'm still under the assumption that I'm hoping Square Enix is going to do more in terms of DLC for 15, because there's still a lot that they can technically do, and people know this. Fans know this. I know this. And surely to fucking goodness, Square Enix knows this as well. I don't think we're seeing it yet. I think they're holding something back, and they're showcasing all of this stuff just to get people to repurchase the game. I've got mine. I don't want it on a phone. I'm sure there's somebody out there who travels on a non-stop, continuous rate who looks at this and go, oh, now I can play it. That's fine. That's good. That means that they have a chance to play something that they thought they couldn't play because they don't have the time to. Now they can. That's good. I'm not complaining that. I'm not even complaining that it's on PC. That's good. That means a lot of people who own PC gaming, or gaming PCs, however way you want to word it, they can play Final Fantasy 15. I'm not mad about that either. But we're missing the main focus. We're missing the main focus. The main focus being the main campaign of 15. We're either doing resells of the same game, or we're doing stupid side stuff, like the VR. VR fishing, might I add. Now, of course, a lot of people are going to be like, well, what about the MMORPG that you just talked about? Well, I recently played that. And I did record it. I will say this much, though. Good ideal premise on paper, execution that they have showed off looked a little shanky. And it could be my case. It could be the fact that I don't really have that good of an internet connection? It could be that. I don't know. But here's the thing. If I can hook up better in Dark Souls, surely to freaking goodness I can hook up good in this so-called Final Fantasy 15. Then again, it is technically in beta. So the fact that it is beta, maybe there's a network connection issue of some kind. I don't know. But when I think of Square Enix and their online campaign stuff, I hear a lot of 14 recently. And by recently, I mean like in the past 6 or 8 month span time now. That people, no, not even that, a year actually. A whole year that people have been telling me 14 is actually really good. And I want to believe that, but when I played through the 15 Comrades, and I was getting like the slowest loading time. We're talking like 10 minutes after the initial countdown ended. Okay? There's actually a segment in the game where you're prepping up your characters and stuff, and there's like a countdown that shows up to let you know when the next mission's going to start. It took you like maybe 5 minutes before that countdown actually started. Next thing you know, 10 minutes came by after the countdown stopped to 0. I was like, am I missing something? Did everyone log out? Did I miss something? I'm gonna go make a sandwich. And it's still there! And I'm like, what? And then by the time it finally loads, and then we go into the main actual fight itself, and I can't tell if I'm hitting the enemies or not. Like, I can't tell if I'm doing the damage, or if my allies are doing the damage. That's how crazy it is. There's some form of lag feature that's going on in the main campaign of the game that doesn't fit. It's like, okay, I know I'm hitting the enemy, but it's not registering that I'm hitting the enemy, except for like maybe 10 or so second delay or something like that. I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong with this campaign that they need to look into. It cannot be that hard to manage an online server. But maybe it can be because some people are not from the main Final Fantasy XIV campaign. I've never played that game, but if 15 Comrades is as shanky as what 14 is supposed to be, I don't think I want to play that. Seriously, I've had more lubric, what's the word I'm looking for? More vibrant experience from Destiny. Final Fantasy 15 Comrades. Again, it could be because it's beta, it could be because of my network connection, but it was shanky as shit. I wasn't sure if maybe there was something wrong with my connection. I don't know if the servers were messed up or something like that. I'm not sure, but one thing's for certain though, they need to work on it a lot more before it even gets to be official. Because, my gosh, that was bad. It was so bad. I was talking to myself, I was like, I can't do this. I can't release this. This is the worst I've ever seen. Showing this would only make it worse. So yeah, Final Fantasy 15 Comrades is very shanky right now, but hopefully when it finally does get fully worked on and stuff, it might actually be good. Who knows? I don't know, but the only cool thing that I liked about it is the limited, and I say limited, customization of your character. And while clothing-wise, there's not a lot to choose from in terms of customizing your character, you can do a lot. Like, a lot more than what frickin' Dark Souls and Bloodborne can do in terms of customization. Because most people like to make them ugly as fuck. But in this one, I think the customization is pretty good, and I can see why they made this game to where you can have multiple profiles and stuff. And I like that. I do. That means that multiple people can play multiple versions of their different characters that they made and just play through an entire campaign and stuff like that. I like that feature, and I like the ideal concept that they got going on, but it's just the main connection. There is something wrong with it, and they need to work on that, because unless they actually get it working vibrantly, people are not going to stay attached to something that is laggy as shit. Like I said, I couldn't even tell if I was making the attacks or not. I couldn't tell. It was just that laggy. And the enemy was just like standing still for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden they jumped to the next spot. And I'm like, where'd they fucking go? They need to work on that badly. It is really an issue that needs to be concerned of. But here's my main concern. Here's my main concern for 15. What are you going to do in the main campaign? Not everything else. The main game. The main story. What are you going to do about it? You've only got one more. And on the one hand, the DLCs are kind of helping. But the problem is that they're not part of the main campaign. They're their own story plot. In other words, you play through a section of the game, go and play through Gladios, play the game again, play through Ignis, go back again, and then go into a DLC of Prompto, and then go back to the main game. That's what I'm assuming. So it's like, you could do a little more, can't you? And thankfully they are. Thankfully they still are doing a little bit more, but there are still some stuff that I'm still nitpicked about. For example, the time hunt trials. They need to have it to where everyone can access those at any time and not have a time limit. That still pisses me off to this day. Because you got some people who are just right now jumping onto this ship, and the bad thing is, they missed out on a number of hunts. Which is pissing me off. It's like, you cannot do that to people. You should have it to where they can enter in the hunt at any time. What are you doing? You're just making it a time trial. If they don't get it to that week, oh, too bad. That pisses me off so fucking badly. Never mind the fact that we still don't have hard mode. What the fuck? You have easy and normal, and you don't have hard mode? Where is your mind at in all of this? Oh, VR fishing? Oh, how well is that gonna work? Not fucking much! I don't mean to complain about this and stuff like that, but when you have a campaign that's as big as what it is now, and the first half was good, second half is already starting to look really, really off. So it's like, again, I can't be pissed off at some of the stuff that they made. For example, the PC version of it, as well as the mobile phone, I can't be pissed off about that. But everything else is like, I don't think they fully thought this through. I don't. Or if they have thought it through, it's not being executed properly. But I felt like I wanted to talk about this subject because of how Final Fantasy 15 is looking as of right now. But it's still lackluster in some fields. And I feel like Square Enix can fix those things, but it's not being fixed in the right way. It's being done poorly. In fact, if I had to say about their performance of 15, like their execution of what they're given and stuff like that, it would be literally just a D. Because having a monster truck isn't gonna fix anything. The idea of adding extra hunts is good, but then you add a time limit to where you can't even access it? And not even a hard mode. Normal for me, I felt was just a little bit on the easy aspects of things, but then again, that was because of the fact that I went for every hunt in the game. And I was at level 80 towards the end, which apparently is that frickin' easy. Huh. Wow. Maybe I just need to run through the game and see how hard it is then. But I just, at any rate though, I just felt like I wanted to talk about this and everything because I feel like Square Enix needs to hear this. I think they need to hear this desperately. And if for some reason or another Square Enix actually does listen to the media, like their actual forum medias and stuff like that, they need to hear this in a personal perspective. That their main campaign is right now starting to suck. they need to kind of improve in some form of way, or else all of their campaign that they put money in is going to be for nothing. Like, I don't know how much money they put into the campaign and everything like that, the marketing campaign for 15, but however much it is, I don't think it reached its goal. I think it barely reached its goal with the main release of the game. Never mind the fact with some of the DLCs and stuff. But then you've got some of the other stuff. For example, who actually asked for a fishing VR simulation? Who asked for that? I want to know who asked for that one. Because if I know some people, they'll look at this and say, this is stupid. And even the fishing goers are going to look at this and go, this is fucking stupid. I'm just saying. Whatever it is you're doing, Square Enix, it's not going so well. At any rate, though, that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to end it right here before I completely rant for so long and I'm going to lose my mind. But at any rate, though, like I was saying, some of the stuff that they've got going on right now is looking pretty good. On the other hand, some of the stuff is not so good in terms of execution. What are your thoughts? Do you think that maybe there was like one or two things they could do differently? What more do you want from 15? And for some of you who are Switch owners, do you want 15 on the Nintendo Switch? I'm sure some of you might want it, but the fact that they haven't done it yet, it kind of gets me concerned. But anyway, though, that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, this is BlackCross signing off. Take care, guys.